Welcome back to our garden project. This garden is, we're building it out in phases. We've got our two main raised beds put in. I don't know what exactly is planted everywhere. It looks like kale, spinach, romaine. I'm gonna let Shauna explain to you guys what she's planting where and why. That's her thing. My thing is putting it together. Some of the projects that we have coming up here, where this side hill comes down, we're going to do a dry creek to drain the water out, similarly to how we did it in front of the house. Those two dry creeks are going to meet as they go down the hillside, and we'll put in a water feature. We have 3 tiers of levels of land up here where it's kind of leveled out. Actually, there's 4 if you count up there. On the top tier, we have some fruit trees and mainly a privacy hedge along the road. This tier is the vegetable garden. Next tier down, we're still deciding what we want to do with that. We were thinking about maybe doing some grapes, and then when you go down another tier, that'll be where the water feature is. And we're hoping that we can build a nice enough water feature that we can recycle the water up to water our plants. Anyway, we also put in some mounds back there. The mounds are more of an experiment. We're not really sure how well they're gonna work. I've been trying to keep everything watered. We do need to go over everything with mulch, especially if we continue with this type of hot, dry weather that we've had. And we do have one of our aspens inside that cage over there, which is pretty exciting. So we're gonna have the drainage ditch come up. Where I'm standing is what we're gonna be working on today. There's going to be 2 smaller raised beds kind of going out that way. These raised beds are going to be for berries. Then back behind where Benjamin is, where the red wagon is, there'll be another large raised bed for things like melons and stuff like that. And right where Benjamin is standing, there's going to be an herb garden. And then you kind of see a brown tub. That is a cattle feed protein tub that Shauna painted a bunch of those. She's been putting flowers and planting. I stole one and put some green beans in it. I think they were sugar snap peas or snap peas, or I don't know. I found the seeds inside. I wanted to plant them, so I put the tub out there. I did drill holes in the bottom of that tub to put it into our garden. We have a lot of things going on. We've got our mound experiment. We've got the tub with peas. We've got the herb garden, which is going to be kind of a really cool design that Shauna's gonna build out of old bricks from our house. We've got the raised beds, a larger raised bed, and today we're gonna be working on these smaller raised beds up front. And as we build this out, you'll notice that we're putting down weed barrier or some sort of ground cover, and then covering it with kind of a pea gravel sized rock. This rock comes from a local quarry down the road. So we could get the rock for $17 a truckload. What you see on the ground here is about a truckload, so it's relatively inexpensive. It's nice looking rock, and it makes everything look pretty. Benjamin and I are going to get to work on this. We're building these raised beds out of scrap metal. So the sides that you see there are just pieces of old tin roof that I've cut in half. We basically put a 4x4 post somewhat into the ground. I adhere the scrap metal to it with a small 1x4 piece on the outside. And then we put 1x6s across the top so that you can sit on them as you plant and there's no sharp edges of metal sticking up.
It's perfect. I'm so excited about this, actually. Like, the fact that I can sit here and like neatly put my plants in.
Do I need to get you a cushion or anything?
I mean, not right now. I'm perfectly content, just like this.
It ends up being a very clean design. It's a very inexpensive design. The metal underneath the wood doesn't seem to get that hot, but the metal piece that I just picked up to show you was extremely hot. If you come to our channel because you like watching tractor repair videos, or you come to our channel because you like seeing us try and farm and hay, all of those things we're still going to be doing. It's not like we're just gardening. When we put out our videos based on what we're doing at the moment. We have to keep up our content. So we're going to have a lot of gardening videos when that's what we're focused on. But coming up, we do have a lot of haying to do. We would have liked to have been haying already. Our grass is starting to look like, and that's because our mower has been in the shop for about a month. We are going to hay. We have to eventually hay whatever's there when that mower gets back. So we'll be haying, and we'll also be doing the tractor brakes. While I do the tractor brakes, I'm going to be doing the inner and outer rear axle seals on the tractor. So if you're interested in that stuff, stay tuned. There's still more of that on the way. We try and get content up as frequently as possible. It's not always organized because we're not always organized. We're just out doing. That's kind of what it is when you live on a property like this. We've got the next phase of our garden complete here. 2 raised beds up front for berries, and then all this continues on back. These are going to look a little cattywampus and weak until I get the boards across the top, scrap metal. Obviously, they're pretty solid once they're done. So I guess this would be phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Herb garden will be phase 4. There's going to be another big, wide box raised bed somewhere out over there, and then as we continue on back, there'll eventually be a greenhouse further on down. If we absolutely needed more space, we could continue our gardens forward at least another 30-40 feet. Right now, this is the proposed starting point of our garden, and then all the way back. So we've got a lot of work to do.